After Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau accused Indian government agents of having linkages in the killing of a Khalistani terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar, the India-Canada relationship has hit a new low. While Canada expelled Indian diplomat, Indian government also responded in the same way and announced the expulsion of the Canadian diplomat. What impact will it have on the trade relations? Let's take a look at India-Canada ties and trade dealings. According to Invest India, Canada is the 18th largest foreign investor in India with an overall investment of about $3 billion from April 2000 to March 2023. Canadian investment represented about 0.5% of the total FDI inflows into India. Canadian portfolio investors have allocated substantial sums of money to Indian stock and debt markets amounting to billions of dollars. The Canadian Pension Fund, known as CPP, has substantially expanded its investment in the Indian market, which span through various sectors including real estate, renewable energy and financial industry. And as of the end of this last fiscal year, in March 2023, CPP's investment in India have reached approximately $15 billion. India was Canada's 9th largest trading partner in 2020-22 and services and infrastructure together accounted for 40.63% of the total FDI investment from Canada to India. According to the data available at the Ministry of Commerce, India's total exports to Canada stood at $4 billion in 2023, which was 0.9% of India's total exports in the last financial year. India's imports also stood at almost $4 billion, which was nearly 0.6% of India's total imports for this year. Indian exports pharmaceuticals, gems, jewelry, textiles and machineries, while Canada exports pulses, timber, pulp and paper and mining products. Notable imports from Canada comprise energy-related products such as coal, coke and briquettes, in addition to fertilizers. On the other hand, India primarily exports consumer goods, clothing items, engineering products like automobile components and aircraft equipment as well as various electronic items to Canada. If we look at the agricultural sector, Canada's agricultural sector, particularly its lentil producers, has been significantly benefiting from India's growing demand for imported lentils, while Indian pharmaceuticals and software companies have expanded their footprint in the Canadian market. Over 600 Canadian companies have a presence in India and over 1,000 Canadian companies are actively pursuing business in the Indian market according to Invest India. If we look at the tourism sector, visitors from India rank as Canada's 4th largest international air travel market. In 2021, 89,500 tourists from India spent approximately $3.4 billion, the most of any group visiting Canada, while Canadians visiting India spent $93 million the same year. If we talk about personal remittances, in 2022, India received nearly $859 million in personal remittances from Canada, and out of 8 lakh international students in Canada in 2022, 40% were from India. Just a few days ago, Canada postponed the discussions on the proposed treaty, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement with India. This Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement between Canada and India has the potential to enhance bilateral trade by up to $6.5 billion, benefiting Canadian economy up to $5 billion by 2035. However, experts believe that fresh tensions between India and Canada are unlikely to impact trade and investment between the two countries, as economic ties are driven by commercial considerations and not political concerns. Also, experts point out that India and Canada do not compete on similar products but trade in complementary products. So, trade relationship may not be affected by these events. According to a source in Global Trade Research Initiative, Canadian Pension Fund will continue investing in India on grounds of India's largest market and good returns on money invested. So companies, investors invest in the market based on their own benefit and not political ties. So it is believed that worsening ties will not have much impact on the trade relations between India and Canada.